Hey, welcome to the Ready to Lose podcast, where we look at what's going on in our brains to create the health and weight loss that we want. My name's Billy Blake, and I'm a certified life and weight loss coach determined to help women love themselves all the way to their goal. It's time to start losing weight in a way that actually feels like us and creating that healthy life that we love showing up for every single day. So tell me, are you ready to lose? Let's go.
Hey, ready babes, welcome back to the podcast. This is the first episode back from our trip to North Carolina. So quick update, we were there for an entire month and it really did bring me back to life. It wasn't even that warm there, but it was warmer than upstate New York and sunnier, even though the day we got there, it was literally 30 degrees. I was like, oh, it's kind of chilly. I got to bundle up. I did bring warm clothes, so good job me. Good job past me for packing for that. I was able to get out for a walk in the morning with my dogs, and it was sunny. And the day we got there, right at home, it was -3 degrees. So way different experience, but we're back now. And you might have noticed that I missed an episode. If you did, if not, that's fine too. I am going to expose myself here. I did something so silly. So I prepped the episodes ahead of time because I knew I didn't want to record while I was there. I wasn't sure how the setup would be. And I just wanted one less thing to pack, right? Like my microphone, I didn't want to pack it. So I recorded all the February episodes ahead of time. I was like, I'm going to record them, batch them. They'll be ready to go. So I might need to edit while I'm there, but I don't need to record. Well, I forgot we were going to be there through the first week of March and that Monday was March 2nd. And so I just totally did not have an episode. I thought about scrambling to get one together, but that didn't feel right. So here we are. This episode, to get into it, this one's going to be kind of fun. It kind of actually just hit me. I was like, what can I talk about? What episode do I want to do? Starting off March, I just really wanted to share one of my recent hacks for making decisions and getting things done. Because if you aren't deciding things, you are not taking action, you're not making progress. And this is something I fall into all the time as someone who has ADHD tendencies, who also now works for myself. So this is a big obstacle. I've talked about it before, but when I started working for myself, I was putting things off all day. I was like, well, I'll get to that another time. I'll do this later. And it's not a new problem. This is something I experienced also with the start of my weight loss journey. Like, you have to be deciding things. Otherwise, you don't take action. You don't do it. You don't make progress. Even if you choose the wrong thing, it is better than not choosing anything at all. And you could be doing stuff too. Like I'm constantly doing stuff. I will tell you, I have a hard time sitting still. I'm always doing stuff. But is it productive stuff? Is it things that are getting me closer to my goal? Not always. And this is something I see people fall into, not just me. All of us do this, where we might feel busy, but we're not taking action to get us closer to our goals. So I'm sure you can relate to this. Like, you might feel so exhausted by the end of the week and you feel like you didn't have any time at all, and yet you didn't do anything towards your goals or the habits that you wanted to have that week. Has it ever happened to you? I talk about this all the time with habits anyway. Like, it's so hard to carve out an hour to go to the gym because right now we're filling up all that time. But for so many things we do this. I fill up my time. I am doing things. I am taking action. And yeah, I'm not getting closer to where I want to be. Your brain is just filling your day with habits and routines that you currently have. The typical ways that you would spend your time, the typical snack you have every afternoon. And that's all because you didn't make a decision to do something different. When we don't make conscious choices about our lives, the natural response is to fall into default mode. Or maybe you do know what you want to do, but you haven't decided to do it. I hear this one all the time. I know I want to work out more. I know I want to meal prep. I know I want to eat healthier, but we never decide to do it. You know you want to start working out. You want to use that gym membership that you got for the new year, but each week goes by and you still didn't go. Whatever your result is right now, and even if you feel like you're not doing this, like you're not avoiding decisions, you are. With love, I got to tell you that you are, because whatever your result is right now, you're maintaining your weight, maybe you're gaining weight, you feel tired and sore every day, that is coming from your actions. You are doing things or not doing things to create this result. And I say this with love because this is actually such great news. So often we talk about our food choices or our lives and the things that get in our way, like they are happening to us, or like each week just goes by and we just ended up back in the same spot each week. Like it's something outside of us. Maybe you're thinking like, my daughter didn't finish her meal, so I snacked on it. I had to finish it. Work was so stressful that I had to grab some chocolate midday. I got hungry, so I ditched my dinner plan and snacked on something else instead. All things that I hear clients tell me time and time again, like this just happened. This just happened. But they're not just happening. These moments aren't just happening to you. You are making decisions without realizing it. You are staying with old habits because you haven't decided to do something different. So I want to share this hack with you because it has helped me a ton with my own decision making and actually doing things different. Because yes, like I mentioned earlier, I am just a human who also avoids things, who doesn't show up sometimes, who finds it easier and safer to keep doing the things I already know how to do. It's kind of funny that our Hungry Girl Bootcamp wrapped up, right, a couple weeks ago, which next week's episode is going to be a recap of that, the big takeaways, things that I learned about myself while practicing my hunger cues and takeaways from our clients in the group. But one of the girls in the group at the very last call, she's like, can I just ask you something? She's like, what does your planning look like? What do your hunger cues look like? Are you just doing this all day, every day perfectly? And I was like, no, because I am also just a human. But this is great news because, right, none of us have to be perfect to start seeing progress. And you at the goal, she's also not 100% perfect. But anyway, I'm also a human, everyone, but I have gotten better at taking action. So my hack is, okay, to give you the hack is I asked ChatGPT what I should do. Now hold up, don't stop listening now because I want to explain why this works. And it is not because ChatGPT knows everything and we should always be listening to it. It really doesn't. There are so many times, I asked it something the other day. I was like, I need to plan 10 hours of doing this thing during the week. And it wrote out a schedule and only put 6 hours in there. It wasn't that complicated. It's simple math. Do all these hours add up to 10? And it did not. So ChatGPT does not know everything. AI does not know everything. We should not always be listening to it blindly. But the reason this works is because the way I'm using ChatGPT forces me to make a decision in my life. For example, if you wanted to work out, but you keep not doing it, you think about what your workout should be or how often you should go or what you can do with the time you're there. And you just think and think and think, and you never go. You might even have a workout program that you bought. Raising my hand. In the past, I have bought a ton of workout programs, and surprise, surprise, that wasn't enough to get me to go to the gym. I've collected my fair share of workout programs, saved my fair share of Pinterest workouts, and still didn't go. So ask ChatGPT when you should go. Tell it everything that you've got going on today, when you have time, how far the gym is from your house, how much time you need to shower after or get ready for work or get ready at night, whatever you're doing, whatever your schedule looks like, and ask it, when should I go to the gym? It will give you an answer. Sometimes it's as simple as this. Okay, I know this afternoon at 4 p.m. I will be walking my dogs after work before I start getting things around for dinner. Maybe ChatGPT told me that. Your perfect time to walk is 4 p.m. And then I do it, right? Like I decide it and okay, it's very clear to me. This is when I'm doing it. Get it done. But other times, and this is actually most of the time, you will come up with a better answer yourself. Like if chat tells me to walk at 4, I might immediately think, wait, that doesn't work because it's too busy out. Everyone else is out with their dogs and I don't want to deal with that with my dogs. Or maybe I don't like interrupting my afternoon with exercise. So for me, it actually works best to go in the morning before work. This is just another version of something that's been happening for years that I actually knew about years before chat. And it's called the coin flip trick or the catalyst effect because everyone's brains, your brain, my brain, a millionaire's brain, the person working out every single day, all of our brains, their tendency is to not make a decision. They do not want to make a decision, especially when something is new, especially about something new. It would rather stay with the status quo. Here's how I always do it. Let's stay in our comfort zone. Let's do what we always do. That's your brain's comfort zone. That's what it will try to do, and it will not want to make a decision. It often sounds like, I don't know. You've heard me talk about this before. You are not allowed to say, all of my clients know, you're not allowed to say, I don't know in coaching. I mean, people say it all the time, but I always prompt them to guess, to make a decision because your brain will treat I don't know as a decision, right? Or you overthink it, or you just spend forever making a decision when you don't need that much time. The concept is when you are between choices and you flip a coin, that is immediately going to tell you what you really wanted to do. It forces you to make a decision. For example, one of my friends does this all the time with food. He comes out to brunch with me and my friends, And he will say, the chicken and waffles sounds good, but so does the breakfast burrito. Oh, what do I get? They both sound good. And he has all the reasons why. This one's better for that reason. This one's better for the other reasons. And he will sometimes ask us to decide for him, or we've actually flipped a coin before. Okay. So when we do, or when the coin flips, when we make that decision or the coin flips, he will say something like, if it flips on burrito, oh man, I really wanted the chicken and waffles. Or, oh, but the chicken and waffles sounded so good. Or, oh, that sounds great, right? If you really wanted the burrito. So you see how this happens? Like if you're like, I don't know, I can't decide. I can't possibly decide. Let's just leave it to fate. Let's just leave it to chance. When you get that answer, as soon as the coin flips and it lands, you know if that was what you really wanted or not. Does that make sense? Like you will feel that instinct because your brain is like, oh, that's the choice. That was the wrong one. I wanted this one. So the problem with my friend though, and I've told him this is my opinion also. There's nothing actually wrong with my friend, but I've told him this. When he's done this, is that he will stick with the choice of the coin or our majority vote instead of switching if he doesn't like it. Like if he lands on burrito and thinks, oh man, I wanted the chicken and waffles, he has this weird rule for himself where he has to stick with that choice. Huh? It doesn't make sense to me, but that's his life. He's allowed to do it. But for me and you and the rest of us who do want to make more aligned choices in our lives for what we want, make choices that align with who we want to be, this is the moment to choose what you really want. By forcing a decision onto yourself, your brain is going to show you what you really wanted. And that's what I've been doing with ChatGPT. I've been doing it actually for my schedule each day. I started doing this right after the new year, and I've been consistently asking ChatGPT to schedule my day for a couple of months now. And I just get more things done. I do, because I know that at this time I'm recording a podcast. And then after this, I'm getting this work done or I'm doing that thing. And I'm getting more things done, right? Some things are things I've always been doing, but I'm getting them done kind of like faster, more efficiently. But there's also a lot of things I'm getting done that I've been putting off, that I've been wanting to do for so long. So ChatGPT isn't a time management expert. It doesn't know the ins and outs of my life and my work like I do. But when I get a plan for the day, I'm like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I got going on. What do you think I should do? I immediately can see what works and what doesn't work. And then I change it around. One of my obstacles with working for myself, like I mentioned earlier, which I've been doing this for 4 years, but it still comes up, is that I fall into these moments of not deciding. I do work all day. I get some things done. I also procrastinate a bit. I think about things that could be done later this week that doesn't really need to get done today. And then it never does get done. So forcing myself and my brain into a choice has made me commit and decide on things that I would normally avoid. One of the powerful things about coaching is that I can easily see for my clients what is getting in their way. It is so much harder to do for yourself. So that's why also this asking ChatGPT forces me to decide something, because I would put things off and not realize it. I would get to the next week and be like, wait a minute, I didn't do that thing that I really wanted to do. Huh? And it's just because your brain is such a good salesman. My brain is such a good salesman. It will talk you out of anything different. It is so good. And I see it all the time with our clients. It happens a lot with cravings where it's I decide, I'm going to do this. I might get this craving. Here's how my brain's going to sell it, right? Whether it's going down the path of your life will be so much better if you have some chocolate right now. Really, I truly mean it. Your whole life is going to be better. Or maybe it goes down the route of why even bother? You're going to eat it anyway. Your brain just comes up with new arguments, because if you overcome one of those, it's going to come in with a new one. Maybe it's, we won't be able to focus at all if we don't eat some chocolate. So if you want to get this work done, we better go eat that now. Your brain is just such a good salesman. It comes up with all kinds of crazy stuff. And so does mine. Like I said, though, this is a role that I take on for our Ready to Lose clients on our coaching calls at times. For me, like I said, it's easy for me to make decisions about their lives, to call them out on where they're not deciding in their lives, because I'm not in it. I'm not in their life. I'm not in their brain. A simple example came up this week where one of our Ready to Lose clients is working on listening to her hunger cues, and she realized she wasn't hungry for the fruit she planned at the end of her meals, okay? She went back and forth about changing up her eating patterns to have a little bit of everything before she got to that satisfied point that we talk about with our hunger cues, or maybe forcing herself to eat fruit in the middle of her meal, but she hated that. And it was all very complicated. She's like, I just don't know what to do about me listening to my hunger cues and this fruit that I keep eating at the end of my meals. So the solution that we came up with was just to let the fruit go. It was a simple choice. But because she always has fruit at the end of her meals, her brain just kept making it so complicated. Well, it was like, well, we actually can't listen to our hunger cues because now this fruit debacle, what are we going to do? It was such a simple choice. But again, your brain is going to argue for what you always do and not doing something different. It was just spinning around in it for her instead of trying something different. This is such a common obstacle that comes up with hunger cues because as you start listening more and more, you naturally feel the desire to eat less and less. And that leads to a point where you need to let some things go and make some decisions about, here's how hungry I actually am during the day. I want to honor that. But I can't keep eating all the things that I'm always eating. I'm just not hungry enough. So whether you do this with a coin or ChatGPT or outsourcing the decision to a friend, try this week. But remember, give yourself permission to go with the other choice if you find yourself not liking the decision that was made. Do not stick with the decision that you don't like. Don't overcomplicate it though, okay? Because I decided to do this. That doesn't work. I don't like that. Don't give up. Don't make it more complicated. Say, I'll just do the other thing. I will just do another time, or I'll go to the gym another time. I will swap that meal for another thing. Just make some decisions. Don't stick with ones that you don't like. You don't have to do that. The second part to this, though, is that you might make a decision and still not do it. That is where coaching comes in. Yes, I talked about how I sometimes help my clients make decisions because it's just less dramatic for me. But in one-to-one coaching, you're going to learn how to listen to your hunger signals, feel your emotions instead of eating for them, and make decisions that you like about your food and all your other healthy habits. But it doesn't mean you're always going to follow through. So in coaching, you learn these tools, but also how to work with your brain to intentionally show up for your life and your habits, even when it feels hard or you're unmotivated or your brain is giving you all the reasons that you should just not. And when you become someone who can not only make decisions, but also follow through on those decisions, that is when you reach your goal. So if you're ready to change your life and lose weight, sign up for a free session with the link in the show notes. And until next week, remember, you've totally got this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you for taking time today to listen in. If this helped you at all, be sure to share it with a friend so she can stop feeling stuck and start creating the health and self-love she deserves. Or post it to social media and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me get the message out. I am so excited to be on this journey with you. Keep showing up for you. You'll get there. Talk to you soon.